Guten Morgen. So it's Saturday. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Sure, we need to get out here and get busy before it gets about 195% humidity. It's 9 o'clock. As folks have pointed out, that's not early, although a couple of my neighbors might disagree with that comment. For me to be out here with the tunes jammed up and making some racket. But anyway, so we stopped at O'Reilly's last night on the way home. We bought $115 worth of consumables: carb cleaner, brake cleaner, WD-40, some Permatex. We bought a tube of gray, bought a tube of black, and just because all of the popular YouTubers really talk a bunch of crap about it, we bought us a tube of red. I don't know what we're going to use it on, but we're going to use it on something just because it seems to piss all of them guys off. We bought a new oil filter, bought a can of engine paint so I can paint the intake, bought some header paint because I thought the one header needed painted, but I noticed last night when I got home that it was already painted, but we can always use it, so that's not a problem. We'll hope to get this thing most of the way together. Hope to get it the rest of the way together today, or at least this weekend. We don't really have anywhere to work on it right now. Hell, we might need to move the plywood out from underneath the front of this and just set the car right out there. And I've done that stuff in the driveway before. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing it. Even if we move a bunch of this crap, if you can see right there, a wren has built a nest. So, and there's eggs in there, and I don't really want to disturb it, and it's probably a crime anyway, even though them little bastards put nests everywhere they don't belong. So yesterday we found us a timing cover. We got it cleaned up pretty good. I mean, it's good enough. Found us a water neck, because the one that was on this, I guess this is a fox body water neck. I mean, I don't know. It would probably work, just shorten the hose a little bit. But we found a legit one that will work. It's even got a plug in it right here, so we don't need to deal with that. Got the intake out. Like I said, this was a Feces Book Marketplace purchase. I can't remember exactly what it was that I paid for it, but shipped it was less than $200. Hey, can't beat that. That's an expensive intake. It's a RPM air gap. We got gaskets. We got all of our gaskets. We got a front cover, timing cover, head gaskets, oil pan gasket, intake gasket. We've got some header gaskets in the building. So we should have everything. Got lifters in that box. Bought a new set of plugs. And I guess once we get it together, we will decide if we're going to just drop it in the car with the 4800 converter and the 471 gear and buy a used set of slicks and race it a little, or if we're going to go ahead and change the converter and gear right away so we can put it on the street. I'm glad I got a bag on that. That thing got wet. We got the remnants from that hurricane yesterday rolled through here, and it rained like a cow pissing on a flat rock for a while. But let's get started. I don't know how much of this I'm going to film, but we will give updates as we go. Today's jams are brought to you by John Bush era anthrax. All right, so we've made a little progress. We've got the cylinder heads on. I just got the intake gaskets sitting on here so I could see how the ports were going to match up with the gaskets I've got. They're clearly for a bigger port, but you know, they'll work. Cylinder heads are on, lifters are in, push rods are in. I got all the guide plates set, I think. I mean, those were kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. Painted the intake. I cleaned it up and painted it, and oh well, that kind of looks like crap. But I guess it is what it is. It didn't look real good when I cleaned it up. It was like stained and stuff, and since it's black, you know, it shows everything like that. But we'll just deal with it. Got that valve cover cleaned up. So these valve covers were originally on the motor when Dad ran it, different heads and stuff, and he painted them black, and well, the paint had looked like crap, and they'd look like crap because it oxidized. And so I cleaned them up, and I got one painted. That one over there is, the one over there is drying because I soaked it down in carb cleaner. Got that one painted. I don't know if I'm going to go back over the top and polish the top surfaces off. I'd probably screw it up, so I might just leave them like that and put it on the motor and see how it looks. But so there's some progress for the day. Good morning. It's Sunday. I don't know, it's 10:30 or so. I've been out here about an hour and a half. Needed to get a little bit done this morning because I actually need to mow grass today. Here's where we are. I got the valve covers painted. I had to take the baffles out because they didn't clear. I still need to, I mean, there's a little bit here that I need to touch up, and probably a little bit on that one too. Got the intake painted. It's already got a cobweb on it. Good Lord. So got the intake painted, got the valve covers on. They're just sitting on there, no gaskets, as you can see. Same with the intake, and a big gap under the China wall. But it's just sitting on there. Got the rockers on, but none of the lashes set. They're just on there. Had to go back through and readjust some of the adjustable guide plates because I didn't have them centered up quite right. But I mean, that kind of is what it is. We need to make sure we've got a correct oil pump push rod for it because I've got several of them, but I think most of them are for Cleveland. So we got to go in the house and look around online and see if we can find a measurement to see how long the Windsor one is supposed to be. Pan's over there and it's cleaned up, but things have come along. Okay, so we made minimal progress today. Valve covers are on, intakes, I mean, they're just sitting on there. Intake's just sitting on there. Rockers are on, but no lashes set. Got the timing cover on, but I got to take it back off because I put the wrong seal for the crank. Yeah, that one down there. It's the wrong seal. Thermostat housing's on. It's got a thermostat in it. You might be able to see it in there. But yeah, I got to take it back off. But I mean, luckily, I've only got a couple of bolts there, that one, and then a couple up at the top because I was just wanting the Permatex to dry. And luckily, I only put it on the cover side, so it should just pop right off there. Found an adapter for here because I went and looked at the car, and the oil line on the car, oil pressure line is a -4 braided, and that was a -6 fitting, and I didn't have a -4 into a pipe plug, but I had a fitting that went from a, well, you can see, -6 to a -4, whatever, it works. It'll be fine. It's hot. Heat index is like 102 or something. I mowed some grass. Yeah, we're trying to keep this up here because, well, I ain't got a shirt on.
Hey, I saw it again and it's all darkness.
All right, so let's wrap this mess up. So we didn't get as much accomplished yesterday as we had hoped. I got to take the timing cover. I got to take the timing cover back off. Put the wrong seal in it. Don't ask. I've decided all the rocker arms are on, but I think I want to put new lifters in it. There was a handful of the lifters, the used lifters, because they had sat in the box for, I don't know, 10 years, 12 years, probably 12 years, 14 years, I don't know, somewhere in there. They had a little surface rust on the bottom of them, At first it didn't bother me. I took some 4000 grit sandpaper and I polished the bottoms of them off, and you couldn't feel it, but you could still see the shadow of it. The more I thought about it, the more it makes me nervous. So I ordered new lifters. I figured set of Crower cool face lifters for $200, or possibly wipe the camshaft out, because my dumbass put a lifter in there that had rust on it, and it wipes out the cam, and then I got to pull it all apart and change valve springs to put the hydraulic cam in it that's on the shelf in there. And it's just, you know, $200 is, and if it still wipes the cam, it still wipes the cam, and whatever. But at least we tried to be proactive about it. It took way longer than it should have for me to find the bolts to put the timing cover on. I glued the gasket on it and then thought, all right, we'll put it on there with just a couple of bolts so that it presses the gasket down and holds it in place while the Permatex dries. And I realized I didn't have any bolts, because I don't know Windsors like the back of my hand like I do Cleveland's. I mean, if I needed timing cover bolts for a Cleveland, I mean, I could close one eye and have the other one partially open and dig around in a bucket and find them. With that, no. 3 steps forward, step back, couple steps back, whatever. It'll get done. Had to order a oil pump drive shaft because I found a listing online, a couple of guys talking about how long they were, and when I measured the one I had, it wasn't the same. And I figure that it's probably a Cleveland shaft, the hardened one that I've got, that's the thicker one. So I went ahead and ordered one. It was $18. I mean, it's stupid not to. I know it's right that way, and I know it's not going to screw something up, and I'll have it. So when it shows up, I'll compare it to the one that I've got, and if it's the same length, all right, and then I've got 2 of them. But as it is, that's probably going to do it for this. It was hotter than Hades yesterday. Warm today too. I'm outside grilling chicken, which, speaking of, I probably need to go over there and check on my fire, because there's a fair amount of smoke rolling out of that thing right now. But anyway, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. You know, like, comment, you know, all of that stuff that everybody always asks you to do that I don't ask very often. So anyway, talk to you later.